I'm going to take you very quickly through how to use Helios to plan night shoots. Now, the first thing to note is that Helios has 3 different modes. The first is the sun for planning day shoots, the second is for plotting the path of the moon, and the third is for the Milky Way. Now, the first thing to do in Helios is to choose a location. In this case, we're going to explore night photography at El Capitan, so I can type it in, or as I have here, I've got it saved to my favorites, so I'll just jump to that. Now, we're back at the home page. So we're going to check the light pollution first to see if it's a good place to shoot. As you can see, this looks great, very firmly in the dark blues and the greys, so that's good. Now, the next thing is to check the dates that we'd like to shoot. Helios has a night planning mode that will give you a sense of the layout of the sky for the entire month. And it's got 3 main layers. The yellow shows you when the sun is up, so clearly that's not a time to shoot. The white is how much moonlight there will be in the sky, and you can see the moons across the bottom. And the blackcurrant pink is when the brightest part of the Milky Way is above the horizon. So obviously that depends where you are in the world and which part of the Milky Way you're interested in. And you can select your own constellation in this section, which gives you a good overview of where you are in relation to all the Milky Way constellations and gives you a little potted history of them. Now, as we come back here, we can see that around the 9th of June looks pretty good. There's no moon around this time, and the Milky Way will be visible throughout the night. The yellow days are the weekends, incidentally, if that's the only day that you can shoot. So back to the homepage, we'll now choose the 9th of June. The map view will give you a quick overview of the location. You can simply drag the little star icon in the timeline, and you can see how the Milky Way will move throughout the sky on that particular day. But to really immerse ourselves, we're going to fire up the virtual stars section, which will put us in the 3-dimensional landscape. Now, what's amazing about this is that we can actually fly around the area like a drone, looking for the compositions that we want. And we can fine-tune exactly how high the Milky Way is in the sky and look around in all directions. If you find something interesting, it's worth checking out that you're actually on the ground and not several hundred feet in the air, which will be difficult to replicate when you actually get there. Obviously, you'll need to bear in mind things like trees and buildings, which we simply can't simulate. But at least this allows you to plan broadly which area you need to be in and to give you some familiarity with the landscape, and of course how it interacts with the Milky Way. So that's the planning part. Once you get on location, it's time to fire up the live view that will overlay the Milky Way over the camera. Now, the internal compass on these devices can be accurate, but they're also subject to all sorts of interference. So to calibrate the device, we give you a range of options. You can use the compass or a map to line up with the features, but for perfect accuracy, you can use the sun or the moon if they're in the sky. I'm going to use the sun here. Now you can visualize the Milky Way for your current location and fine-tune where to set your tripod. So that's a quick overview of the night shoot planning features in Helios Pro. I do hope you found it useful.